Yeah, that was a long cherry. But everyone, welcome back to the High Rollers. We have a special freaking episode. As what we have on here, we have Scoob back. But Scoob, where did you go? Where were you this past weekend?
Scoob got some new credits on some cool coasters that aren't in operation anymore down there in New Orleans at Six Flags New Orleans. I got to visit the world famous Katrina site. It was something, man. It was special.
Bro.
Everything. Okay, let's just start it off real quick. I'm not even trying to take over real quick, but just so everyone listening knows, it is exactly what you think it is times 1,000. When you watch the videos and you get those feelings from the YouTube videos and all that stuff, multiply it by a bajillion, and that's how it feels when you're there.
And for those that haven't seen anything about New Orleans, what kind of feel is there? I mean, for me, I can kind of, get it, but
I'm not one of those people that gets like overwhelmed with emotions and feelings and stuff. And like when I went into it, I expected to be kind of, amazed that I'm seeing something I've watched on YouTube a bajillion times and watched documentaries on. But when like pulling up and seeing it in real life, it just kind of sinks in like, oh, like the forgotten stories of like how that place was just left abandoned. It sets in like it was left for nothing. It was left there, and all of that just mixes with like your desires to see it and explore it and climb on shit and take things home and all of that. Like any urban explorer knows, they want to take the coolest artifact but not ruin things and all that stuff. But like the pure like forgottenness, emotional sadness that was tied to it and all that stuff sets in really quickly too. Like you're grateful to be there, you're happy to see it, and then you're like, oh my god, people probably died here. Oh my gosh, like lives were lost here, people lost their jobs here, lots of ruin was left here, and it's like a whirlwind of everything.
Yeah, that's one thing like, when you brought up, and I was thinking of like, when you said the rust on the bridges, and I was just like, it reminds me of like why I respect stuff like this so much. Why it's kind of sad it is going to be. Well, I guess we'll get into that. What the inevitable conclusion of all this is going to be, but just knowing that people were living there, at the time being, had everything going, fine time the Katrina hit, and you said that, how tall was the rust when you saw that? Like,
those bridges were pretty tall in New Orleans East that I was seeing, and the people were telling me like the rust underneath them were, so like imagine a highway overpass. Not super tall, but like you're on the road going underneath the highway overpass, and like people, when you saw those videos of people on the freeway and like water all around them, those were the freeways they were sitting on. They were telling me, and like it was just really eerie because it looks nice. The area looks clean enough for what had happened there. As you could tell something had happened, but you could also tell they'd put in like a cleanup effort. They didn't necessarily rebuild a bunch of stuff and all that. You could see there was remains and whatnot, but the rust on the bridges was one of the more eerie things because you're sitting in your car looking up, just going, "Oh my!" Like the ocean's scary enough as it is, but when it's in places it's not supposed to be, and the water's surging in places it's not supposed to be, mixed with chemicals, electricity, alligators, all sorts of like
that
and
tall
people floating
of
around in it,
body
all
of
that
water.
stuff.
Like,
It's just it's really alarming to see that and know like the actual devastation because you can watch it a million times online and be like, oh yeah, I can kind of imagine it, and then you see the sheer size of what was actually underwater and the square miles that were actually underwater as you're driving these freeways and through New Orleans, and you're like, wow, like yeah, like, a lot of people lost their lives and stuff, and it's not something to take lightly when you're there. You have to respect that and understand that while you're there too. And looking at all this stuff, like a lot of people died on those same roads and same places I was driving on and seeing and taking in the sights and marveling at, and
yep.
it's tough because there were dead bodies and lots of bad stuff happening after Hurricane Katrina there because it was forgotten. You could see that part, especially around the park. Like driving up to the park, there's nothing around it. You have to drive a mile, 2 miles away to get to food, gas stations, any of that stuff. Like all around the park is just nothingness. And
Hmm.
it's weird. Like the closed for storm sign, you drive that whole road, you see like one car, and it's probably the security guard watching the site, and then you make this other left to go towards the main entrance or the employee entrance on the thing. And you go in there, and you're just like, you don't see anybody at all. Like there's nobody driving out there. Any time of the day, I didn't see anybody at all except the security guards. It's just like nothing happening over there. Weird. It's really, really weird.
It's literally desolate. Like people, because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people, and the reason why I think it's important too is like a lot of people think it's just Six Flags that got left in the but like that whole area, man. Like we were talking about this quite a
Yeah.
bit before the gas, but
Yeah, I
that
think that's what really set in when I was there. Like staring at the park's one thing, where I took those sunrise photos and kind of, like I was looking at the flooding pictures and I was standing on the levee where the water was actually raised up to taking pictures of the park abandoned a couple days ago and just like
jeez,
putting into perspective that that was where the water was and walking through the buildings when you actually got in there and seeing the water line on some of the stuff. It I mean, look, man, I'm already terrified of the ocean. That would have been the scariest event to ever happen to me. I'll take tornadoes in the Midwest over all of that hurricane stuff any day.
yeah, like natural disasters in general, just but like I was
Yeah,
saying
they're
with the
all
water,
scary, but bro,
but
I'm telling you, I would wholeheartedly take the tornado over that type of damage. Water scares me a lot.
man, and another big reason I also wanted to bring up the importance is like what you said, because for me, as being someone who's very into what happened with the Titanic and everything, finding out the mystery and why and what and just the history of it all. There's a respect you have to put to it because hundreds of lives were lost that day. Like that was a catastrophic event, and that's the reason why we're still talking about it. So
Hmm.
to me, it's like the same vein when talking about Katrina, where it's like you can talk about it in Six Flags New Orleans, but what happened there and everything around it, is still affected to this day, like because
All right, so
of Katrina.
when you go somewhere that once hosted so much life and like it was so vibrant and you feel the past memories and you can kind of feel that there was life there once and you can tell it was once something big.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
When you get to New Orleans, like the Six Flags New Orleans site, it it feels quiet. Like it doesn't feel alive, it doesn't feel haunted, it doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of like remnants left. It feels empty, gone, and forgotten. Like I was expecting to feel like it was haunted. I love ghost stuff. Like I love ghost hunting and
Hmm.
stuff. When I got in the park, I wholeheartedly felt like nothing was left in there. No life, no nothing. We are the only thing bringing life to the park, and that was, I think, the eeriest feeling of all. Because usually it's either haunted, like ghostly, and you're scared of it, or you feel the remnants of past memories and happiness
Mm-hmm.
and stuff there. You didn't feel either of those. You just felt like
Damn.
you were in there,
It's been
and it
gone for
just
so
felt like
long
a place. Yeah,
that like it just lost all identity of anything. It's just
it was weird because like there's ghost hunters and people who go in there and say it's haunted. The Ferris wheel moves on its own. Like we watched it move and stuff, like all that happy jazz. But when you're in there, you really just don't feel anything, man. And I don't know if any of the witch doctors down there feel anything, or if the voodoo practitioners or practitioners feel anything on the site, or actual spiritual people do or whatnot. But I've felt energy in some really weird places, man. I've been in abandoned hospitals, all sorts of abandoned body plant buildings where they used to build cars and stuff, and like I could feel the hustle and bustle of
mm-hmm.
like the everyday life in those places. I could tell like someone worked a 9 to 5 here at one point, someone worked a 9 to 9 here, someone busted their
Hmm.
ass here. Like I could feel that in all those places. When I went into Jazzland, like I felt for the city and the people who loved that place, but I didn't feel anything in there at all. That was the most alarming part because when we set up that Christmas shoot on Friday night, which we'll get into later on, like that was the only time that that place felt like it had life in it. And it was because of us, not because of what was there before.
Mm-mm-mm. See, that's
Even
just
touching the rides, you don't feel it, Like you touching old coasters, you'd be like, "Oh, this thing once did so much." Nope, didn't feel nothing. It felt like shit was just there for no reason.
man. And the thing is, imagine an alternate world. Because
I think that's
was
what
that
draws so
park
many people to it.
was that park doing well? I think it was doing all right from what I remember. Like,
It didn't under the Jazzland thing. Like the first year for
mm-hmm.
Jazzland did pretty well. They had some high hopes for the second year, but I think operational costs and overhead were a bit much for them. But I'm pretty sure Cedar Fair, or not Cedar Fair, Six Flags. Sorry, excuse me, I'm an idiot. I'm blanking right now. I'm pretty sure Six Flags had it running pretty well to a point where it was self sufficient. I know they weren't doing great, and the insurance check at the end was clearly enough for them to say this is more worth it than reinvesting in the park. But uh, as far as I know, Jazzland people, the proposal that want to run it again and get the site back, they say it was profitable at the end and it was self sufficient. They said it wasn't a huge park, and that was when it was competing with Astro World, and there was another park in Baton Rouge at the time. So like there was more stuff to compete
Yeah.
with. Now there's nothing competitive within like Six Flags Fiesta Texas and Over Texas are the closest parks.
7 hours.
Right, like it's a lot of miles away. It's a long, far way away. So there's nothing close anymore. So the park could theoretically do well. I think one of the issues is also like the population right now and decline in tourism. They'd have to focus on that again because New Orleans is plummeting there. But yeah, it's just a whole chaotic mess with that park, man. And the alternate timeline is what I think people. I think that's what draws people to it and going back to it because they just want to see that. And I don't know how you let something. How do you spend $140 million plus on like infrastructure, building stuff, or however much they spent, and then let it sit for 20 years versus trying to invest some more back into it?
I mean, you gotta remember when it happened too. Six Flags was already. You had the recession, and that already was. Six Flags was adding so many rides every year to all of their parks. Then as soon as they found out that's a bad idea, the recession hit. So they hit bankruptcy in 2009. Like,
yeah, I'm not saying it would have been easy to do it first, but after 10 years in the 2010s and stuff, there were plenty of opportunities where the park hadn't aged so far beyond repair in certain areas where you could have done things for a lot cheaper than you could now. And I don't know why there wasn't a motivation to do that. Especially with trends seeing people leaving the city and tourism dropping. Like, you would think you'd want to build things that would have brought them back instead of leave.
Yeah, it sounds like, it was a steady growth when they acquired it. Because Six Flags wasn't really adding a lot of new and fun, like, they were adding a lot of coasters and stuff to their parks, like. So they added, like, at least 14 attractions. Six Flags
added a lot of DC stuff to the park. That's what they focused on at New Orleans.
I mean, that's what Six Flags was back then, right? Just clone.
Right, and I think they added Batman, and they added 2 rides to the park, and I think that was it. I don't think they added much more to the park. They might have added some flats, but yeah, okay. So 2003 and 2003, Batman and Jester. So I'm assuming those were New Orleans because 2001 and 2 was Jazzland, 3, 4, and 5 was New Orleans. So, yeah, New Orleans added 2 rides. That's it. Jazzland put 4 coasters in. New Orleans added 2. They added Batman, which is Goliath, at one of the Six Flags parks in Texas right now, and also Jester, which it was a Vekoma like looper thing.
And so from when hearing about it, because I'm just doing a little quick refresher of myself. Yeah, it's like I actually didn't know Six Flags pulled out basically a year after. They're like, screw this. That is insane.
They they were planning on reinvesting in the park. They had plans to, and then they got a fat insurance check that was way more to take than reinvesting in the park.
And imagine
it would have taken years to make that money back for what they got in that check. And they saw the recession and all that other stuff looming and needed to get some money.
Exactly. Because I'm like, it was just a year later they gave it back to New Orleans, and I'm like,
they were already having trouble at that point because Geauga Lake had sold to Cedar Fair in
Yep.
2004. So Six Flags was already having issues prior to New Orleans and Hurricane Katrina even happening.
Yep. And it
So
just,
that makes a lot of sense why they took the check versus reinvesting in the property. So I don't
man.
fault them for that. They paid all the Six Flags New Orleans employees until like April of the following year after Katrina. So August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. That's fucking 8 months. Like, I don't know how much more you could ask for a company
Right.
that's also going through bankruptcy. I shout out to them. They did a good job there on that fact, which is surprising. Probably because they got that fat check and they knew that, but it's crazy that they actually did right by the employees at the time.
Hmm. So I'm seeing, I'm looking at a Reddit thread right now where I just, like, at its peak, how popular was Six Flags New Orleans? Like, in the New Orleans Reddit. And
Yeah.
people said it was like, it was rarely packed, but there was always people there. You know, like, it was like a steady it kind of reminds me of how King's Dominion is for me.
I was gonna say more or less like Michigan Adventure, Kings Dominion, small scale regional park or
Mm-hmm.
mid scale regional park, not huge, not small. Can afford to have good coasters, but can't afford to have massive mega world breakers because the overhead would be too much. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they fit in a certain mold. I do think they may have, you know, overextended how much they thought they were special. They're not Disney and stuff, but
Nah, yeah, that was potential there. It's just literally like
there
those.
still is. There still is. Shout out to the Jazzland Proposal Project. And anybody's interested in that, go check them out. They got a Facebook page and a website. And no, they don't have control of the site right now, but they have not given up the fight. And she says that they are still 100% believing that they will get the site sometime in the next year or two. So,
Wait,
everybody, breathe.
there's there's actually light at the end of the tunnel. What you're telling me? Potentially,
There could be. There could
there's
be.
actually hope because for this whole time, everyone's been thinking like, just pull off the band-aid, please. Like, we don't need this hope. We're looking at them like Hawkeye from Endgame. Like, don't give me hope, please.
No, look. All right. So, listen. Anybody who's people interested in the park probably don't know this stuff. People who have actually started contacting city councilors and have a weird obsession and passion for it know like there is a small chance it can happen. Um, do I believe it really will happen? I'm not 100% sure. Would I put all my eggs in that basket? No. Would I want to? Yes. So let me just go over the team of people real quick because they have a whole team and it's funded already. Like they have backing by the PIDA project and all this stuff. Tanya Pope owned and operated a theme and entertainment consulting business for 19 years. She also started her career in the aerospace industry at NASA and helped develop program simulators for crew training. David Bacchus is a dedicated themed entertainment professional with experience in both the creative development and operational management of world-class theme parks and attractions for the past 25 years. He's also served as the CEO of Dreamscapes Vacation,
Hmm.
Big Inc., and a travel agency, tour operator group dedicated to leisure travel and destinations worldwide. Roy Turley is a theme park general manager. He started off at Silver Dollar City, worked at Opryland, Dollywood, and Pigeon Forge. Has been in numerous places. Park City, Silver Mine Adventure, in Utah. He's done a bunch of stuff. Trying to see where he's at now. Sorry, I don't know where he's at now. I'm not
But
sure where
these
he's
are
at. I'm
all
just gonna keep
people
going.
on the Jazzland project trying to.
Yep, Kenny Handler, water park operations and management specialist, has operated and managed California's finest water parks for the past 23 years. His role has taken him from being park supervisor of Six Flags Hurricane Harbors, Raging Waters, and San Dimas operations manager. He's entertained millions of guests throughout the years, blah, blah, blah. So, like, they have a ton of people. And, yeah, it's.
And they're like
They
reputable people, like not just like like people that have been in the industry, at Silver Dollar City, like types.
Yep, that's just the management team. The rebuilding team, it gets even deeper. The McGilvray Consulting Company was established in 1998 to provide project and cost management services on capital construction projects for both private and public sectors. Um, U Studios is a nationwide multidisciplinary group of architectural and engineering professionals providing services in production and award-winning design for multi-unit restaurant, retail, theme parks, hospitality, corporate, and more architecture. Most recently, they were engaged in Holiday World, Splash, and Safari to help them achieve their goal of growing their annual attendance by 50%. So, like, dude, these people are all there. And then they have a proposal on there as well. Like the whole proposal, you can read, financing matters for the property itself. We propose flat cash annual lease payment plus a guarantee on local sales tax collections of 1.8 million so that the HUD note can be satisfied. They've done so many things. Like they're so good. They have it, man. They know what to do. They have the proposal. They have conceptual plans. They have the park's footprints that they would expand slightly. The water park would be constructed adjacent to the park. They would also have a film backlot as well. So they plan to still do the movie studio there as well. Just bring the theme park back versus a bunch of baseball diamonds and entertainment centers.
Wait, so they would have a theme park and a studio?
Yep.
Huh. They dreaming big.
Yep. And they also said their future expansions would include retail entertainment venues and youth sports fields in the future as well. They said they would do that just to satisfy the community as well.
I mean, that sounds like what so many parks where I have made in Planet Coaster, where it's like you have like these retail and all this stuff and food areas and like just business in front or around, and then like actually in the park is like the park. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it says historically the park attracted over 800,000 guests annually while operating seasonally and competing with Astro World. Today the closest regional park is over 450 miles away, and we plan to operate year round.
Is that feasible? Like, how was the weather down when you went?
Oh yeah, dude, it's fine.
Okay, what's fine to you?
I was wearing hoodies, bro. I was wearing a hoodie and sweating.
Okay, but like, was it?
It was like 55 degrees, bro. Like it was fine.
Okay.
55 degrees with the sun
on.
That's
fine.
It was cold at night. Like when we were in there Friday night, it was a little cold, and that was like New Orleans cold. They said they were freezing their asses off, and it hadn't been that cold in a long time. Like, it really is not that bad down there. Right now, it's 60 degrees.
Okay. I will say, okay.
Their lowest temperature for the week says it could get to 41, and their high that day is 58. And then it skyrockets back up into the 70s Saturday and Sunday and Monday and Tuesday, into the 60s Wednesday and Thursday. Yeah, like, dude, they could operate well into December and take a break in January and February for maintenance if they wanted, and then reopen in March, theoretically. Yeah. Like, let's be real, you do need time for maintenance and shit, and running year-round sounds great on paper until you can't keep up with shit.
Yeah, because you don't have a Universal or a Disney budget, and even then, with a Disney budget, the rides
2 hours would do well for them too, I think, as well, because 2 months, because I mean, you don't have to rush on things, but it gives you plenty of time to get through your not huge scale park and do things while also keeping your routine maintenance going. Like it just makes sense to do that, and it's still warm enough to work outside where it's not horrible for people like it is up in the Midwest.
I agree.
So, yes, on paper, people hearing that probably think it's crazy, but when you actually do some research, see that there's actual engineers who disagree with you, people who say that it can't happen. There's theme park associates and, like, managers and people who have been in the industry for 25 plus years who think it can happen. I'm not going to listen to some @22bob765 on Twitter saying that the park can never reopen, because the fact of the matter is there's people with millions of dollars invested in this that think it can't. So
there's a chance. There's definitely
that's why it should happen.
And where is this? Is there something we could look this up or support in any way? Like,
yeah, it's called jazzlandpark.com.
Jazzlandpark.com.
And then you can click About Us, and on the right-hand side, when you get to there on that About Us page, it'll start with the management team, and then you'll see rebuilding team and the proposal on the right-hand side as well. You can click those and see the whole, like, the proposal, all that stuff. The park map and pictures don't work anymore because they had it on some Adobe thing, and it doesn't load anymore. The service got taken down.
Yeah, they took away Flash Player.
Yeah, Flash Player. That's what it was. It was on there, but they're working to get that back up on the site.
That's what's up. Yeah, I'm looking at the image gallery. Oh my god, they had like okay, that the image gallery's still up, so this is cute. Yeah, there's literally jazzlandpark.com to get a look at some of
Yep.
this. And
You guys want to email them? There's an info@jazzlandpark.com email. You can contact them and ask them about their proposal, why they think it'll work, and they will give you answers. Like they are very good people as far as wanting this park to come back, trying to get it to come back, not giving up on the fight, and trying to do what us coaster enthusiasts want to see with it. So like if you're a coaster enthusiast listening to this, you by chance made it to this part and you're hearing it, go look right now. Go contact all of those city council members on the side of their page and tell them that you would travel to New Orleans year after year and visit that park if it was back. Like you have to tell them and give them reasons why. You can't just say save Jazzland. They don't care about that. They need to see tourism, they need to see money being spent, and they need to see why it's feasible. Sorry,
yeah.
I just put my political hat on there.
No, you're good. I'm just reading their why save Jazzland. At least there's one thing that I can read from there that won't be like I'm reading them a novel to the podcasters. But definitely, please check out this site because, like, it's possible. You got these people that managed California's finest water. You got people that worked at Silver City. You got people that worked at CEO of Dreamscapes. And these people like they're they remain in the industry. I wouldn't think that they would just come together and just BS that it's a possibility.
Yeah, or you guys can continue with the current shoddy demolition, smashing shit down, profit, steal, demolition, nobody getting paid, all that stuff. Bringing on you guys can go for that if you want, or you can have Jazzland back. There's enough of us coaster enthusiasts out there who cared about Top Thrill 2 and tracked down Zamperla's site and went there. I don't know why people don't just flood the city with annoying emails every week. Like, we could make a change if all these people with 300,000 subscribers on YouTube just made one video and said contact these people. It could fucking happen. I've tried my hardest to bring people together and emailed so many people, and I've only got like 4 people to message me back and tell me that like, yeah, I'm in, or yeah, I'll help out with that. And they have some big followers, but like the rest of them, I'm just sitting there like ashamed of them because like all of them could play a role in saving something bigger than themselves, and none of them want to.
Man, really, the only
Not
thing we
blaming
can
anybody,
do.
I get it. Like no one has time, but contacting these people, if all right, so me messaging them every week doesn't really matter. Now, if they got say from let's just Coaster Studios following, say they put out a video and told all their followers to follow, and 20% of them did. That's still 20,000 emails, dog, or 2,000 emails, whatever it is. Like that's a lot of fucking emails.
So what is emailing them necessarily do to help for this cause? I
See,
guess.
this is the question that always gets people into the thing where they don't do action. It shows them that there's actual people who have money in their pockets that are willing to come and spend money in their area
Mm-hmm.
and tour there. They just lost 27,000 people that are aged 25 to 34 that moved out of the city from the year 2022 to now. Why would they not want 20,000 people touring and coming
Yep.
or like on a tourism trip, coming to their city, spending money, staying in their hotels, paying them taxes, and going to their park? Can anyone answer me that? Why doesn't an email matter? Can anyone? Better
Yep.
question is why doesn't the email matter?
Yep.
That
So
wasn't at you either. That's for
no,
everybody who
I
asked.
asked the facetious question on purpose.
No, it was yeah, and it really wasn't you. It's just more or less what people always say, and it's like the better question is why doesn't the email matter? Because if one person like one Coaster Studios does that, and then say Airtime Thrills and El Toro Ryan do it, and there's another 20,000 emails, 40, 60,000 people suddenly messaging them, flooding their inboxes. They can't ignore that. You can't ignore it. You can ignore 1 or 2 emails a week when you don't see Jazzland proposal every day. When your whole email is people saying things about the Jazzland site, you're forced to make a decision to either answer it or ignore it and be very clearly ignoring what's happening in the city and not listening to your constituents. You know what I mean? Like there's political backlash to everything and people just don't see that as far as like all these city council members who are elected officials elected to serve the city, meanwhile people are hemorrhaging from the city leaving. That's why the email matters. The email matters because they need to see that Hundreds of thousands of people will come there every single year and spend money, stay in their hotels, pay them taxes, go to the parks, all of that stuff. Because they're losing people. They've lost hundreds of thousands of people over the past 10 years. Like, that's why the email actually matters. The email matters because you need those people to see that, hey, we think this will work, but we know that will work. We know because all of these people have told us explicitly time and time and time again, to a point they've flooded our emails where we can't even have a normal work day and see what we're actually supposed to be getting from our actual constituents, all the people we're doing business with, because our whole emails and business calendars are filled with save Jazzland, do this, do that. That fucks up everybody's days. You need to disrupt their days so they have to pay attention to it. That's why emails matter, in my opinion. I think you really need to push people. If me and you had emails and we're doing business and we get one email that says like, hey, go fuck yourself, and then the rest of them are all our business proposals and us making money, we're going to ignore the hey, go fuck yourself and make our money, right?
100%. If I log on the next day, then all I see is go fuck yourself.
3,000 fuck yous, and you don't see any of your business deals, you're gonna be like, uh-oh, what did I do?
Okay, well, first I might be thinking I'm hacked first. Like, okay, this guy probably just fucking...
True, yeah, you definitely be like, wait a second, what's going on? But if it's a business account and all that other stuff, and it's very specific to something you know about, and it's saying like, hey, save Jazzland, and there's 60,000 emails, you'd be like, uh-oh, I have to do something about this, or I have to change my thinking on this, or we really have to consider what we're doing with this. It's not the same as just, oh, my day got messed up because some kid told me I'm an idiot and don't know how to do my job in one email. It's 20,000 of them. That gets scary too, because then you start thinking about political season, how many of these people live in your city, where are they coming from, am I going to get reelected again?
Mm-hmm.
All pressure, man. Pressure and screwing their day up to a point where they have to respond to what they're seeing versus what, everybody else.
So, and this is all the who to contact, like, and that's Nat tab on the page. Email all those.
What'd you say?
On the who to contact, like the mayor, the council members, the districts, or...
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what it says on the contact list.
Yep. I would say one thing people need to... There's someone they would need to add to that list, too, and it's JP Morrell, because him and Troy Henry, the guy who is in charge of the Bayou Phoenix development, don't get along very well, so they've been at odds publicly for a while. JP Morrell is also a black man. He's mixed, but he's a black man. And Troy Henry called him an Uncle Tom and said that he hates black business owners and stuff recently on the radio. So, like, there is some real fire between those two. They do not get along. And Troy Henry always touts that he's one of the biggest black business owners in the state of Louisiana. So, like, when he calls someone a hater of black business owners, it kind of holds weight because he is pretty big in the state. So, those two definitely do not get along at the moment, as far as I know. So you can contact him and push him too, Definitely contact JP Morrell. You can find it on the New Orleans site too. It's not too difficult to find contacts for city council members. All you got to do is look up the city council of the city and all the contacts are there. Phone numbers and all. Because guess what? They're there to serve you guys. That's the hope, right? One day that we'll get to go to Jazzland. Hey, if Jazzland ever comes back west, we got to go together.
I just smoked ahead to that, brother. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you just heard me rolling up a little bit too. I'm about to smoke to that.
There's no other way. I'd have to go.
Definitely think people need to, well, I don't think they need to. Like, if you have an interest in it and you want to look into it, you should educate yourself before saying that the park can never come back, because there is a chance, and I'm also not coy to the fact that it's a very slim chance. Like, I'm talking 0.01 to 5% maybe at this point. But there's hope, and it's not dead. And there are ways to push that and start making it go to 20% and 50% and things that could happen to cascade that into a favorable situation. So, if you are interested in parks and abandoned shit and maybe saving Jazzland, go do some research on the Jazzland project and check it out, because there are ways to push. And if enough of us do it, you never know.
Yeah. Now I'm just kind of looking at just the brief history of it all. It was Jazzland from 2002, like 2000 2002,
Yep.
and then right after that, Six Flags thought, why not? We're already adding around to all these places. Let's add parks. I kind of want to get a Six Flags history at this point now
Yeah,
too.
Ogden Entertainment was in charge of the parks or operating the parks when it was Jazzland, and they were kind of hemorrhaging money at the time, and they they weren't making a lot of money, and they just decided to sell the park. And Six Flags was on their buying parks rampage at that point, so that's kind of why that happened. They were on the buying parks and building coasters rampage.
Hmm.
They were trying to expand their footprint to compete with, other chains and stuff.
Right.
Cedar Fair specifically.
And I mean, it was really cool because it was like obviously a coaster war, but there was almost like a park war. Like, but then it got to the point where it was, these regional parks like Jazzland or Geogga, they were just eaten up by chains and then destroyed because of it. Like, yeah, it kind of bit a lot of them in the ass. Not gonna lie.
Right.
Because like in theory, you would think it's a good thing. And that's why it's like, is history gonna repeat itself with this merger? I love history in general. Like,
Me
world
too. That's why
history
this shit's
is like amazing. So to me, it's real life. It's literally our lore.
lame.
How people love stories and they love Lord of the Rings and like Star Wars and all that in the fictional worlds. This is
Yeah,
real. Like
I
all the
agree,
stuff that
dude.
happened. Oh my god! Like I can't believe that it's happened. But on top of the fact I love coasters and amusement parks, theme parks, just the whole amusement industry, my whole life. This stuff is like interesting. You can literally look up Six Flags New Orleans as a historical landmark. Like it's important. Like
Yeah.
it's
It tells a story, a lot of things in there, and a lot of it's still there. Like I'll tell you, when we went to the warehouse and stuff, and like all the shit that was still in there, man. Ironically, quick story before we actually get into the whole days, but there was some Six Flags Ohio merchandise inside the warehouse that we saw, and I asked somebody who had some higher up relatives at Geauga Lake at the time, and I asked them why there was Six Flags Ohio merchandise in New Orleans, and like it had clearly gone through the hurricane, so it was like in the warehouse and stuff. Like you could tell it was there, and I was like, why would it be there? And let me go find the text messages, but I got an answer on that. And it was kind of funny. So I spoke with my uncle who directed me to one of, I'm not going to say the names of this person, blah blah blah. What happened was during the Six Flags World of Adventure rebrand, some of the stuff was supposed to be temporarily moved to Six Flags New Orleans so they could get everything sorted out in Ohio with the naming. Why Six Flags New Orleans? Because they were already sending some stuff down there and it was added to the shipment, and Six Flags was too cheap to buy another shipment to a different park. So essentially, it got sent down there, and before it got sent back, the hurricane hit. So there was some Six Flags, like, Ohio stuff inside the warehouse in Six Flags New Orleans.
fuck, bro.
Pretty interesting, yeah. And like being able to actually track the story back down, because seeing it's one thing, but being able to track the actual story back down to something so specific that they were too cheap to pay for another package somewhere else is hilarious. Like I love coaster people because like if you reach out to enough people, you can get answers about like almost anything, unless it's like a secret, But
Yeah, if you
that's
if you
hilarious.
know how to dig deep enough, you truly can probably find at least a plausible answer
It's like the
to.
6 degrees to Kevin Bacon thing, bro. Like in coaster world, like I truly believe that is wholeheartedly something in this community. You ask somebody who has a big enough following that you're friends with, they can find somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody that you need to get in touch with. Like it's fucking insane.
Yeah,
Straight up. Like I found Michael Moodenball, the old owner of Boblo, through the coaster community.
bro.
Sort of. Like their search tactics and how they search things. Someone told me how they find people, and it was a coaster enthusiast way of finding people's contact information that actually got me the contact info for that. And then I got it from somebody else as well, which confirmed it, but it was just like I got it from that first. And then someone else sent it to me as confirmation, and I was like, all right, sweet. I do have it.
I'm
Yeah, the
just
park
looking at
itself, insane, bro.
I'm looking at the 2005 image, the overhead, and I'm just like, fuck. That's
You
daunting.
share your screen with me?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let me see it real quick because I want to talk as you're. All right, so move your. All right, so you see where your thing is? You see that pole that's over on the left-hand side in the field? Go to the left right now, directly across to the left. Right there, right. You were right by it. Down more. Nope, not in the park, out of the park.
Oh, my bad.
Over more. Right there. Yep, you see that right there?
Yeah,
That's the levee system, and that platform right there by the pole was where I was standing taking the morning shots I sent you and the moon shots.
bro.
That's where we took some of the pictures from outside of the park from. Also, if you look at the park aerial view and you notice, look at the teal and blue awnings over the entire walkways throughout the whole entire park. The entire park was shaded.
No shot. Actually,
Dog.
though that would have been. I don't know if that would have been an industry standard, but one would have hoped that
We
more
still don't see that
parks.
stuff today, what they
Right.
were doing in that park. Plus, now you can't see it from these pictures. I don't see any of the cues or whatnot. But you see the awning by Megazef when you zoom in a little bit over there? You see how there's like green and yellow
Mm-hmm.
awnings and shit right there? Okay, so every single queue line, like you know how they're usually steel in every single park, just silver and whatnot,
Yeah.
or they'll have like a coat of paint on them. Every single pipe in the park that was queue lines, outside, fencing for anything, like once you got past the main entrance, was all covered in PVC pipe that was purple, yellow, and green. Every
What?
single inch of it. Every single inch of all of the queues were covered in that stuff. All of it. Everywhere. It was honestly like insane overspending, but like also made sense because of the type of rain and stuff they get there. Like I was told it was for, rust and erosion purposes, but I don't know, man. I've never seen Florida parks doing it, so I don't understand that.
I'm
Let
trying to
me
like put it
get in
overhead.
Discord on my phone real quick and I'll drop some videos in the thing so you can kind of see what I'm talking about as well.
Yes.
Or should I
Because
post that at general chat, shit posting, trip planning, where at Bool?
uh uh shit posting. That's the main one. Yeah, that's shit posting. So yeah, post it there so everyone else can see it. That's fucking dope.
Heard that.
Yeah, I just was laughing because yeah, everyone's like, "What are your fucking names in your chat?" uh,
God, bro, I love that.
no, I was laughing at him too. It's just like I just don't take her so seriously. Um, yeah, I'm trying to find an overhead shot with no water, and it really kind of does make me believe what we were talking about earlier. It just left everything to rot. Like, oh my gosh, I can't find one.
All was just covered in these
Flames.
PVC pipes, all of them, everywhere. Incredible.
Dry. Was this when it was open or no? I'm trying to find one where it was like right after it was like drained, but on overhead.
Didn't get drained out completely until like November, I believe.
Damn, that is insane. Is it next to what body of water? Oh, I see it now. Okay. Wait, so what picture? I don't want that picture. What picture? How far
All right,
ago?
go to the shit posting thing real quick. I posted some videos in there you can see. Oh, wait, no, it says it's still sending. Give it time. You can keep looking.
Okay.
Give me a second.
How?
One of them sent, two of them sent. Okay, they
Let
all
me
sent.
see. How
You can see
long ago
all.
was this one? Oh my god, the
Whoa,
frog.
whoa, whoa. Zoom in on that real quick. Okay, wow. You can see all the awnings were torn off everything, it looks like. And the right side awnings are all gone. You could see where the awnings were on the left side by the lake over like at the end there. Yeah, like right there. But you can't see any of them where they were on the right-hand side of
Mm-hmm.
the park anywhere. Holy shit.
What?
Yeah, that's weird.
Like to
It's crazy
me,
how quick the trees grew back too, because this has to be a few years after here because there's a lot of trees and there wasn't a lot of trees when the park was open.
right. Right, and then I mean you have a lot of water to kind of give that
Yeah.
to give that like so.
It's like where the Jetster is back there too. That was all wide open when the park was open. Yeah, like where your thing's at right now, that whole ride area where the trees are and shit around it, that was clear when the park was open. When you look at the flooding picture, there is no trees there at all.
So this
And it's
park,
not because they were buried.
yeah, this is after because you can still see the water is still
Yeah,
there.
yeah, no, yeah, you can tell for sure it's after, but
Like, right, I would say maybe like the end of the year, like you said, November and stuff. But so like there a lake on
yeah,
both sides
that
of it.
that lake is there. That yep, those two things are actually there.
That's what got it. Ugh, that's so sad.
Go over to the levee where we took the pictures real quick. I want to see how high up it looks over there.
Yeah,
Oh, it doesn't look like that high, but it's like 15 feet when you're standing on it to the water when we were there.
I mean I can kind of tell from that. I mean, if Megazep's like 100, how tall is Megazep exactly?
Ah, good question.
I think it's 100 feet around that. It was pretty sizable.
It was
But
a good roller coaster. That's all I know.
I mean, it's a
110
CCI.
feet.
Let's
Yeah,
go
110.
CCI, of course. But man, man,
Yeah.
there's another photo I want to look at. Oh, let me look at your shit. What am I talking about? That's what I want to
I
look
was gonna say if you find photos, I might be able to send you actual videos from where I
at. Yeah, I'm
saw it
like,
or what it looks like today.
it's
We can
playing.
compare tons of shots if you want.
It's playing through my.
Does your podcast video record too?
No. So we've been I've been dabbling in and out. Like trying to see if we should do it, if we shouldn't do it, and I don't know. I don't know.
Probably a good thing for not being on YouTube smoking back to back to back to back to back all night, but
Yeah.
some of these reactions would be kind of cool
All
and
right.
showing photos and whatnot, and to show you some of the stuff I got because I got a Hurricane Katrina sweatshirt. I got a Six Flags New Orleans embroidered sweatshirt. Swear to God,
What? Whoa. Whoa.
bro, you have no idea how excited I am to wash that bitch and wear it. Get some
So
OxyClean and some chemical remover shit and all that before I put it on, but
oh. Sorry, I was trying to fix my speaker where it was coming out from, but I'm
good,
looking
bro,
at it
don't
right
worry about
now.
it.
So what queue is this that you're standing in? Why is there creepy King Kong like
I
Skull
can't
Island
see
music?
what you're wait, wait,
So,
it doesn't show me what you're looking at now?
no, I had to switch the window up here.
Oh, I was
But
so
like
confused. I was like, what?
there's like King Kong like ambience in the background. Like I don't
Oh,
know if that's
it's
I don't know if that's like a
I don't know which
plane or
one you're
something.
looking at yet,
Yeah,
so I don't know
I
which
need
one
to
we're
change
talking about.
the window real quick. I found it.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I can see which one you're looking at, I can tell you. Megazeth.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah,
Wait a
that's
minute,
Megazeth.
wait a minute. Megazip had a hybrid track?
Yeah, it's all steel underneath. That's why it's savable, bro.
Did none of the
And why
wood
we?
track get like affected?
Oh yeah, the wood is.
I mean, I'm saying like the lower parts. I mean, obviously it hasn't been touched and it got damaged by what
and
it
it
has been. It hasn't been even like catered to in 2 decades. Like yeah, like
yeah,
I'm not talking about
it was
that,
sketchy.
but more so just if it were. I know if someone was probably underwater, it had to be like even worse. then,
Look at that shit.
bro, I love CCI so much, so I'm just like, oh my
Bro, CCI is the GOAT. I don't know why they don't exist anymore. They should just come back. But
god. So was this guy just sitting there, this frog?
yep.
He was just there, and he was in that good of condition.
Yes, sir.
It's pretty impressive, honestly.
Right?
So it's like a little frog with like pink, green, and purple camouflage.
And yellow, like, mouth and eyes.
Mm-hmm.
He's cool looking.
Let me try to find more. I wonder if I could find like a Six Flags New Orleans like timeline overview. I probably can do it over Google Maps satellite. That's probably what I'm gonna end up doing here. Google Maps. Yeah, because I did that. Doing that for the Mavic roll was sick. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm just seeing that. And then I do that for everything now. It is different from Apple and using Google, but
Did you see the other video too?
I saw all of them. I need more videos of anything. I need to look at. So those the ones I need to look at is the ones that are on my phone.
All right, let me send you some of me climbing.
Yeah, so that pictures of you in the sunset, like you said, looking at. Is that a boomerang?
Bro, I can't wait till we get all of the. Yeah, that's the Zydeco screen. What's left of it?
Okay. So that you're sitting on the levee there, and then the meg. Oh, I see exactly what you're talking about. That's crazy.
Right, dude, it's nutty. The fact that I was even in there is crazy.
Bro, track went through just went through all of what you were sitting in, happily. Oh my god, you were sitting right here. I could probably find you on Google Maps. You were sitting right here. Does this look? So this is really bad. Like quality. I don't think they satellite over here much anymore, to be honest. Hold on, let me show you this new damn it, window.
Hey, is there any way you can delete these from the shit post
Oh yeah,
after?
yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I was gonna say because I don't want anyone seeing these and resharing these.
Yeah, you
'Cause
can
that might get me.
you can click the three bars and delete message.
Oh, I can delete them. Okay, cool, cool. No worries, then I'll share everything.
I could delete them if you really. That's funny. But what does this satellite look to you? Does this look like similar? I know it might be hard to tell because I don't know why the quality's really bad. So
actually, zoom out real quick. Go over where the gesture was. Up, other way. That way, yeah, right there where that ride is up at the top. That one.
that's
Up,
right.
up, yeah, that one next. No, next, yeah, that one. Zoom in a little if you can. All right, so it looks like it's still standing, so it's close to this time, but not quite. Is the drop tower there? Zoom back out real quick. Drop tower's gone from that area. Let me see what else.
Yeah, that's where it was, right? Like right here.
Actually, no, it was over to the left a little more, closer to Megazef in that building. Nope, down.
Right here.
Right there. Yep. Trying to see what else is a notable landmark. Zydeco Scream is still standing, so that was before recently as well. So are the flat rides in that area, so go back down a little bit again to that area, back down where we just were. A little more. A little bit more. Okay, there's, let me see. Craps and shit in the field. This looks like at least a year or two ago because a lot of the shit's still there. That's been well destroyed for a while.
I forgot I could do this. This was March 2023.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say it's close, but not quite. Like,
why is it inverted? I don't like that. It's like when I look left, it looks. Well, let me walk in. I forgot how you walk. Okay, never mind. I got it. Okay, no. Holy crap. As soon as I walked in here, October 2013. Yeah, they just did not satellite this after a certain point. Look, let me go back
They
here.
can't. Security. They can't get in anymore. Security, like the Google Drive car people can't go up the service drive anymore. None of that shit.
Wow. Like, literally, the last documented is... Yeah, you can't go this way, so I gotta go to the entrance. So let's go back so we can get to the entrance here. So I'm not walking all the way back to the entrance. How do I... Okay. Here.
I'm trying to find where we were in the warehouse and stuff. So I can't send anything that's over like 30 seconds long, video-wise. Not letting me send long videos.
I'm trying to see where it's allowing me to use the Google Earth now. Street View, yeah, no, okay. I want to use
Right,
this.
I've sent you an absolute fuck ton of videos now if you want to look at them.
Yeah, I was trying to get a Street View so I could, you know, walk it through it while that was happening, but like, damn. Is there actually a steakhouse by here?
No.
What the heck? Yeah, it says there's a steakhouse, you know, in the parking lot of Six Flags New Orleans, Gelatins.
Definitely not.
Says it's closing soon.
I'm
You
mad
sure-
that I missed that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, you sure you didn't go there, bro? I think it's actually something you missed. You probably could have gotten there like, right after, you know, all that exploring. Nice steak.
Hey, I got a quick question. Do you want another guest on here or no?
What's another guest?
Taylor.
Go ahead, bring her on.
Alright, I was just asking because she's, a good friend and she's been in this whole New Orleans thing. She probably knows more than... She's the only person I've shared more with than you about the trip so far, so...
Well, yeah, as long as, like, yeah, they're involved with all of that.
Oh, she's seen every email I've sent the council and city members and shit, and she's part of it.
Okay. Then, yeah, do you know how to invite to Discord, then?
I'm sure I can figure it out. Your Bool channel. Might have to join on my phone, too.
Like, what was the last recorded street shot
got it.
of Spark? Man, that's crazy. I just wish I could just find that stuff, but yeah, it's actually seeming like we're gonna have a guest come on. We're gonna have Flatta Taylor, which, if you haven't heard, they had a great little podcast, Quad Down. That's at least where I became a fan. But also, if you aren't familiar with, then you gotta realize this is the Flight of Fear mascot. The Flight of Taylor. There's a bunch of Flight of Fears around the world.
Your mascot?
Yes.
Oh my god. I love that I have this title.
Now, the only thing we need now is the top FOFs you've been on. And then we can get back to Six Flags New Orleans.
So the top FOFs I've been on are Tall Lanky Foff and Foff.
Wait, Tall Lanky Foff. This is why I was curious. I'm like, what are these names?
Tall Lanky Foff is the only open for 5 days Top Thrill 2.
Slenderman Foff. Oh, yeah.
Slenderman Foff. I dig that.
But welcome on, Taylor. It's spontaneous, just like this cast always is. But I think it's the first time we've literally just had like, it's like what, never guessed before. Didn't have anything talk about this before. Just come on. But honestly,
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me.
Of course. Of course.
I was like, hey, Wes, do you care if like a guest comes on? And I felt so awkward even asking that and like pushing that. But I was like, also, Taylor's awesome and she knows just as much about this, if not more, than any of my other friends. So why not, And plus, I wanted to talk to Taylor tonight, anyways, too.
No, I was like, this adds another dynamic. I'm like,
Yeah.
first off, we get Taylor in, and I was like, I always have a good time talking to you on the Spaces. So, which y'all tune into the Spaces.
Yeah. Taylor's one of the best people in the community. She's a really cool person, down to earth, and great friend. So,
now you're hyping me up too much, and I might just have to skedaddle. Like, this is cool.
No, it's the same with West, too. I feel the same exact way about West. I mean, I've interacted with him for 15 minutes in real life at the park, but this dude is one of what I'd consider my best friends in like, life,
Man.
Poster world and all that shit. You guys are just awesome people, so shout out y'all.
Well, shout out y'all.
Tom, are you doing your 25 days of coasters, Taylor?
Yeah, I'm not doing like a real top 25 because I kind of hate ranking coasters. Like, how can you rank a Woody next to a launch, So I'm just doing like 25 random coasters that I rode this year.
And that's what's up.
I
like that.
25 this year, so I couldn't do that.
I bet nobody can guess what day 25 is going to be, though.
It's gonna be
Ravine
guess. Flyer, Waldemere.
I'm just not gonna spoil for everyone,
Yeah.
I was totally joking.
Look, I like all the gimmicks that people are doing now because like you have Coaster Angela, she's doing like the Schwarzkopf or the Larson loops.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And you have Gavin doing like all the airtime moments, like the top 25 airtime moments on Steel Visions.
And then you have Jen, who's just doing 25 Talon.
I think the next one I'm going to do is I'm just going to start posting every day about Jersey Devil. That's going to be my thing from now on.
But that's what Jen's doing, but with Talon.
No, Jersey Devil. That ride's awesome. It's a single rail. I'm a single rail lover.
If it's
different.
If it's slower than Wonder Woman at Magic Mountain, then I don't know if I'm going to be impressed. But there is no bad RMC, is all I will say. There's just no bad RMC for me. I'm just going to go on
a single rail montage about how great single rails are, how they're the best manufactured roller coaster type ever.
Look, then you need to go to Wallaby Holland and ride those dueling RMC there. They build
right,
which I honestly love that it's a family and a thrill. I think that's perfect. Kind of reminds me of Fire and Ice, Dueling Dragons, but man, so what I was trying to do here at first was I was trying to find a street view to compare everything that he has been putting in this chat, all the goodness, all this. Bro, you were in 6 Flags New Orleans. That's so crazy.
Shout out to Gavin, Dippin' Dots guy, Gavin. He's an awesome person. That guy is one of my best friends. His name is @Gavin MacKool on Twitter. Gavin McCool. Go follow him. He's awesome. Great dude. And shout out to my girlfriend for, all of them supporting and helping me get out there. And then of course my friends for saying you should go do this. I will preface another thing with saying that I won't be posting a lot of content from it right now because there is NDAs and waivers involved with it. So we could talk about it a lot, but I don't think I can make a documentary right now.
And that's the benefit of a podcast. You can talk and then move around that stuff. But we are a pretty candid podcast. So.
Oh yeah, it'll be candid. I'll talk about my thoughts and stuff. I definitely feel certain ways about it, but it is what it is. I can't fight it either.
I
would love to be that asshole that fights it, but I'm also trying to buy a house here soon, so.
Oh, brother. Don't get me started.
So I'm not trying to lose all of that.
All right, let me switch these windows again. Because I think I'm failing.
The great thing about this whole mess is that they're doing so much so openly wrong that you don't even need to see it to know how fucking insane this is. Also, I'm sorry. Are we allowed to cuss on this?
Oh, this is the high rollers.
Okay.
We are.
Just sure.
We are loose. We are. I don't even know the stuff. We were talking about 20 minutes of Tyler getting his getting his left cheek tattooed. So.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure, don't want to step on anybody's toes, get anybody demonetized, know.
Look,
that's the epitome of my trip right there. That's exactly how the trip felt.
Okay, so right now we are looking at Scoob just in between. What was that boomerang called? Zydeco.
Zydeco Scream. That was the loop on Zydeco Scream, and I'm just chilling.
Bro, it makes you really realize how ginormous these machines are, though. Like,
oh yeah. It's so easy to walk on them, bro. Like, people are always like, oh, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's like a big freaking ladder and platform step. It's so easy. Even the circular railing, like, if you can't balance on that, you just shouldn't be doing it.
Dude, so, like, did you, like, climb all the way? Did you do a loop all the way around and climb it?
I got yelled at a little bit, so I had to come down and take the picture, but yeah.
It is crazy the trees are just growing in between that loop. I see what you mean now. It's like just forgotten. They want you to forget about it at some point, but we're not gonna let them.
We did get to climb the actual staircase up the little Batwing element on it or whatever, the Cobra Roll element, not Batwing, Cobra Roll. But yeah, we got to climb up there and stand up there, which was pretty cool. Went up on the platform and took a quick little video from up there. Hanging around up there. Look at this guy. Urban Explorer.
Bro.
Urban Explorer.
I don't know why this reminds me of, like, you guys, like, doing parkour, too. I don't know. It's like, some of these people, like, they do parkour.
Bro, we were climbing on shit. That guy, Jason, right there with the black fedora on, is the dude who's the photographer, world-class, award-winning photographer, has documentaries being human trafficked by the cartel.
Start the ride!
Like, incredible stuff he's done. But yeah, that guy
Start the ride!
Awesome. Wait. Absolutely amazing.
What ride operator panel is this? And so I can perfectly say this. So this Jason, he was taking you around, and he has, and how did he get these? I guess, how did he get into the position that he's in?
Like 2 times, but he's like a really good photographer, so it's kind of hard not to want to hire him to document what's going on, So he got a job doing that through those people and whatnot, and it's pretty cool.
So did he walk you guys around the whole time, or did you guys have like any free roaming at all?
I would say, so no, we didn't just have free roam like you would say we could just run off in all directions, because it's a fucking hazard to do that. There's wild boars, gators, ways to die in there. So no, we didn't have that.
Wild what?
Oars and water moccasins. There's tons of stuff in there, man. Like, it's not be there by yourself and not prepared and having wildlife people take things out. Like, I'm pretty sure they took some pigs out Saturday morning. I mean, we showed up, security guard, if they got all the pigs out.
That to me shows how abandoned it is. Like, wildlife just living through it like it's nothing, Like,
no, it's wholeheartedly that. And I would say we urbexed it exactly how you would expect a group of boys to go urbex a place. Not destroying it, but respecting it. But we did what we wanted. We climbed the lift hills, Megazeph, and we climbed up on Zydeco Scream. We walked the entire track on Megazeph. We walked on small cement platforms that are like a foot wide with steel structures in them next to gator pits and water moccasin pits. Like, we definitely could have died in numerous ways while we were there. So yes, I do think we had freedom to do what we wanted in the park, regardless of the fact that Jason walked us through it the whole time. It was just like somebody who knew everything about the park, who was also down to explore it like he had never been there.
So, he wasn't holding your hand, but you guys were kind of on, a leash.
He basically said, I have to see you. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. So not holding your hand, but like a dog in a backyard.
So you could have jumped in the water if you really wanted to swim, as long as I see you, you know.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I did kind of go in the water for a second. I ruined a pair of shoes because I put it in the swamp. And I'm surprised I didn't get bit as well.
Jesus. I was like to say, like, who knows what's in there? Aren't there gators down there too? Like,
all over.
All over. Okay.
I was looking through his Instagram this morning, and I was like, I saw this one picture he had with a model like dipping her toes in the water, and I was just like, ugh, you couldn't pay me for that.
Nope. And fucking nope.
Like, and the water looked so gross around her foot too. I was just like, oh, no thanks.
And you know what's crazy is I put my second foot in that water because I almost fell in. Like, not stupidly. Okay, so we were standing there, and Jason gives us this warning as we start going on that cement platform. If you see bubbles or you hear hissing, get out of the way and, like, move. So we stop. I look down in the water. I see tons of bubbles. I freak the fuck out at that point and go, yo, hell no. And I leap across the next side, and my foot skimmed the top of the water and fell in a little bit, but I made it across. And I grabbed the scaffolding and I climbed up like a level real quick. And then we realized after, because everybody scattered and climbed up because everybody saw the bubbles when they looked down and freaked out. We realized Teeman was standing on a stick, and the stick was so down in the water it was causing bubbles to come up. But I was just told if you see bubbles, move.
Right.
So I saw fucking bubbles, and I moved. I got out of the way. I was not about to be gator bait. I was the closest person to those bubbles. So I was like, fuck this. I'm jumping.
You were literally the Hulk. Super jumped.
And my right foot like fell like a solid 4 or 5 inches into the water as I jumped across. Like it skimmed it, but it fell in, and I caught my left foot on the thing and pulled myself up. Dude, I was like, I was in that water. Holy shit. My ankle was all wet and shit. I was like, oh my god, I could have just got bit.
But luckily, it was just a stick.
Oh, yeah,
it's a stick in the water.
Everybody kind of laughed after, but Jason was like, no, that's exactly what you should have done if you, like, you know, saw the bubbles move. I was like, I didn't hear hissing, but, bro, there were bubbles there. I'm not playing. This is my life. I get it once.
Yeah. So, this meetup.
All John,
how did you
fighting a gator?
Yeah, I was about to say, maybe, how many of y'all were here at this meetup?
There were 5 of us plus Jason.
Oh yeah, maybe 6 of y'all could have taken on a gator, you know, but.
Yeah, we definitely could have fought the gator. I'm still not trying to be the person hit by the gator while people are trying to fight it.
Yeah, I guess it takes 1 down until it leads to a 5 versus the gator.
Barrel roll my freaking limb off at least, so I'm still gonna be the worst off of everybody. I was closest to it, man.
You could fight it back. Just as soon as it's trying to death roll, you just throw your momentum back like a brolic man you are, the goddess or the god that you are, the athletic beast that you are.
Elbows.
We're gonna throw elbows with a gator.
You just need a shovel. You just need a shovel, man. You're scared of shovels.
Wait, really?
Yeah, you ain't seen that video on TikTok? It's kind of cruel, but the guy goes around smacking alligators with a shovel, and they just take off running. They're scared shitless of it.
Well, I feel like if you hit in the head with anything.
I mean, true, but yeah, they like some of them just run as soon as they see the shovel. They're like, oh shit.
What if they go into the water like, yo, man, whatever that metallic flattened object was, yo, it tonked the hell up. Yo, you do not want any of that. You do not want that. They're just swimming down there underneath, chilling, like.
Bro, we cannot fuck with that shovel.
We hissed at him, and he just whacked the shit out of us, like whack-a-moles. Like, we don't know what, we couldn't roll any of that. Yeah, they're probably telling each other like that shit's fucked up. So whenever they see it, they're like, oh hell no, and they just fucking run all the way away. All right. What were we even talking about now? Oh yeah, you almost ran from. How did you meet? How did you even get involved with all of this meetup? Because I was saying, like, how did I get into gators talking about themselves in the water?
Fascination with Jazzland and Six Flags New Orleans. It's kind of like not similar to Boblo, but the way it was forgotten and affects the residents and stuff, like it has a similar tale. So I kind of got obsessed with it for a bit. And I knew Jason was like the one person who was allowed in there. He put out a video on YouTube called Saving Jazzland like a week or two ago. And when I saw that, I emailed him. I was like, you know what? Screw it. I went to his page. His email was there. And I was like, hey, I would love any chance to get into this park or anything. And he just sent me some information. A lot of things happened over the course of 2 days. And suddenly I was flying out to New Orleans to go there.
That's awesome. Like, it's the people you can find in this hobby.
He emailed me back in 7 minutes. So, like, I had an invite within 7 minutes of me asking if I could go there.
And just like we always say, never know who you meet in this hobby. It's like,
yeah, and I'll say another thing, like every single person I met, Demon, Greg, Jason, Trudy, fucking Collins, like Luigi and his dad from Mexico City, like I have lifelong friends. I got contacts with all of them. Greg is awesome. I think he's from the UK or something like that. Colin was from Denver. Eamon's from Orlando. Luigi and his dad are from Mexico City in Mexico. Trudy's from Ontario. Like Jason's from Los Angeles. Like everybody lives very far away from each other, and we are all going to be friends forever. I think because of that.
Man,
it was another crazy thing when I got home. You know, after the event, homeboy got his money, all that shit, did the experience. He doesn't owe us nothing. I never thought he would be like very active with us. He's messaged me like 5 times since I've been home. He messaged me when I got home and was like, hey, just making sure you got home safe. I was like, yeah, blah, blah, just landed. Thanks for the event and all that stuff. He said, yeah, don't be shy. Make sure you reach out. Keep in contact with me. Don't let this, don't let the communication end. And I was like, definitely won't. And he's like, I hope to see you sometime again down the future. When I'm in Detroit, I'll let you know. And he comes here and does photo shoots like 3 times a year. So he's like, I'll tell you when I'm there, dude. You can come hang out. You don't even got to participate. Just come hang out and see me. Let's go get dinner or something like that.
What's up, bro?
Yeah, this dude won like tons of awards for his photography. He's like very knowledgeable, very, very just a good person in general. So it was surreal meeting somebody. Like you watch YouTube videos and you see how people act on camera, and then you're like, will they be that in real life? And then they're not, and you're let down. He was way cooler than I could have ever imagined. Like, no homo, dude. I love that guy. He was fucking awesome. Great dude. Like, literally one of the nicest dudes I've ever come in contact with. And so passionate about what he does. So detailed, so focused and driven on it. So wanting to tell the story, passionate. Like, it's hard to beat that. And when he talks about, like, certain... Like when we captured certain clips in that Christmas night and the magical feelings and some of the videos, like he was looking at some of my videos and his photos and just talking to me for a minute. And everything he was saying, he feels when he captures a certain perfect picture or perfect video and he gets that excitement inside of him is the same shit I think me, you, and Taylor and anybody who makes content feels. And it just reminded me like I'm in the right place right now. I should be here. This was a good idea. I'm learning from someone so smart and knowledgeable in this field, and yet he's just as excitable and little kid and childlike and full of wonder and imagination like all of us. Like he wants to bring all of that to life too. Limitations are not.
I was so excited when I saw you guys were doing that Christmas thing. Like I didn't think he'd like set stuff up for you like that. I thought it was just gonna be like, here, see the park. And the fact he live streamed it too.
Photo shoot from him.
What'd you say about the photo shoot?
Like I said, I was just adding to what Taylor said. Like what he did that night. He set up the entire photo shoot, video shoot. So like we learned how to do that. Like I could set up a photo, video shoot, lighting, and scene. I think anywhere now, because when you bring something that's so dead back to life, things that already have life are easy.
Yeah, that was really cool for him to do. And the fact he live streamed it too, like, so he could bring people in that weren't there to feel that magic.
Right.
Like, I was so excited when you texted me and was like, hey, we're live streaming this. I was like, what do you mean? I get to see? I get to see what you're doing?
He literally was just like, hey, we're going to live stream. Is that cool, everybody? And I was like, literally, I walked off to the side, texted you, my mom, and my girlfriend. Like, literally, I was like, hey, guys, go to this Instagram, blah, blah, blah. He's live streaming right now. We're about to be on.
That's crazy.
What
amazing.
Fastest text I think I ever sent. Yeah, like, it's like setting up a Hallmark movie or a Christmas scene or any of that. Like, we took a dead, empty, lifeless park that was lit under moonlight and lit it up like it was open. Full of sound and feelings. Hang on one second. I gotta go use the bathroom, and then we'll get into a deeper dive on that or whatnot, because that was kind of special. Because Saturday was urbexing, Sunday was focused on capturing the sunrise and the moon and all that stuff, but Friday was like a movie scene. It was an introduction and a movie scene, and there's a lot to get into there because it was kind of cool. Hang on one second, though. I'll be right back. Give me 15 seconds.
You're
no,
good.
actually, like.
Well, hopefully everyone has been, because like I said, I find this stuff so interesting. Very different than what we normally talk about. We're talking about the craziness in the news, crying over Ka, crying over what ride might close next, the mergers, the craziness, the tyranny. But right now, no, we're going over what is, a lost landmark, the what ifs, the possibility of bringing something back, that people could like. And for me, like I said, I love the history. I love history anyway. And in its amusement park and the history of the amusement industry, it's also intriguing. So that's the reason why I've always been very, very enthralled by it, at least from afar. And then, you can probably see all the different documentaries and stuff that keeps coming out, even years, 2 decades after, everything's been said and done.
I'd agree with that wholeheartedly. So Friday night was interesting because we got an introduction and a quick walkthrough of the park to see things. And at first, like the question Taylor posed earlier was like, are you able to freely roam and stuff? I thought we were gonna not be able to do anything. Because I mentioned the climbing Megazeth stuff, and it was like, oh yeah, you guys aren't allowed to climb any coasters here, none of that stuff. Like, he was feeling us out. He was seeing how much he could trust us, And like that was weird at first. Like we weren't sure if we were gonna be able to do a lot. And Saturday, he turned into one of the boys. Like it was literally just like full send,
Mm.
Every 10 minutes, he was like, "Yeah, we shouldn't be doing this. I could get in trouble for this. Don't tell on me, guys." Like, he's so cool.
And now here you are telling on him.
I wanted to say, you old tattletale.
I mean, I'm not saying exactly what we were doing at the time we were saying this. He was watching out for our safety, and he was very, very, very aware of our abilities and what we were capable of and not capable of. So, I'm not saying he pushed us to do things that could have killed us per se, but I am saying there are plenty of ways you could have died in that park as well.
You're not being stupid. Straight into a pit of water moccasins.
Literally, yeah. Like if you're not paying attention to the ground, you could get bit by something. Like it's not saying he was putting us in inherent danger. It's to say that place was just inherently dangerous.
Right. And how I'm like, look, so he wasn't doing impractical Joker stuff. He wasn't
No, he wasn't out there trying to set us up to fall in the water and get eaten by an alligator. Was he allowing us to get closer to the water than we probably, not than we should have, but a lot of people should have? Yeah, like should a 50-year-old person who doesn't do urbexing that sits on their ass and works at a office job be doing what we were doing? No. Someone who goes rock climbing able to do what we just did? Yeah. Someone who urbex is able to do it? Like it's not for everybody. Definitely not. Like some of the stuff I did, I would not have let my mom do. Straight up. Straight up. And I know my mom's capable of all of it. Still wouldn't have let her do it. Too dangerous. I'm not watching you die. Climbing on old wooden coasters where you have to step precisely on the 2x8s and stuff, or you step through a board. Like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that, because the second you panic and make a split decision and miss, you die. So I wouldn't want my mom there. But yeah, there people like me can do it. People who urbex can probably do it. Are there still idiots? Yeah. Inherent danger all over, baby. Jason was aware of that, and I'm sure we were aware too.
So these videos that you sent, when did you start taking them? At least, or what are the order? Are they set in order? That's a better question. Are they set in order?
No, not necessarily.
Well,
Friday night was the Christmas up first, but that's all Saturday urbex in there.
Okay, all this is Saturday?
Yeah, that's all Saturday stuff right there.
Oh my gosh, that's mega stuff. So that.
For context to people listening, what times were you there each day?
Friday night was 4 to 7 technically, but we were in the park for like 4 to 9, so we were there pretty late. Saturday was 10 to about 5:30-ish, and then 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. And then Sunday we showed up at, it was supposed to be 5, but we were there at like 4 or something. We got there all earlier because everybody was up and wanting to go, so he was like, all right, let's do it. And yeah, we were there pretty early. I mean, we were driving to the park at like 4 something in the morning, doing the security sweeps and animal checks before we got out and stuff. Yeah, like 4 to 7 a.m. I left at 7 a.m. We were there a little later than I was.
Oh.
And how long has Jason been doing the photography at the park?
2 years.
Okay. But I knew he'd been doing it for a minute, but
yeah, but he's been going for 10 years documenting and getting arrested that whole time. Legally, he's been doing it for 2.
I love that eventually they just gave up and they're like, you know what? Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. You're like, you know what? Your photography's too good. You got in your You want to just look after it, like.
Because like they know if somebody's not doing it, like they're gonna do it anyway. You might as well have somebody that you trust doing it safely than like people just breaking in all the time to get documentation.
Yeah, they're just like, you know what? He was the only problem, so you know what? We're just gonna keep you here. Since you like being here so much, take pictures for us. Works out,
right?
Little does he know, he's trying to bring it back. Part of it. Oh man. But yeah, so on Friday, that was the introduction. You said the movie. That's when you guys were on the levee and took the shots, or was that Saturday, where you got the moonlight and the sunrise shots?
Sunday morning was the levee shot.
Okay, so moving after you got sleep and everything on the Saturday, how did that day go? Because you said that was the main urbexing day.
Urbexing Saturday?
Yeah. When did y'all start doing that?
Man, so we entered the park and we started going through the old offices and like security buildings and whatnot, and seeing some of the shit that was left behind at the front of the park. The old where they would set up for movie studio stuff while they would shoot films there. We saw that room that was like cleaned out and whatnot. We went to all the buildings on Main Street and stuff, which was really cool. You could see the water lines and just decrepit decay from years of being left abandoned in there. And we made our way from there over to the theater across the street there on Main Street as well, where they had shows and stuff, which was really cool. You could see the old stage, and they had a balcony that was upstairs, so we walked around up there. It was like a cement balcony, so super safe. The building's actually still intact. They plan to use it in the future, so that one was, not really urbexy, more or less just exploring. Still fun. We're in there, looked around for a bit. All right, pick a number 1 through 10.
I
7.
Oh, I was gonna pick 7. 3.
Oh.
Hey, what is it?
All right, you're closer to my number than you are further from it, so I guess I'll say what I wasn't good. So this is when Jason started opening up more or less about what's going on with project development, what he thinks is going to happen there, and how he sees the park going in the future and what's going to happen. I'm not going to give specifics, but this is where I learned a lot of the city insides and outs and basically what's happening and all that stuff. He talked a lot about that and how he wishes he could save the park and all that other stuff, or at least, keep some of the stuff for movie studio sets and other things. And yeah, like that was when I realized we were friends of Jason, not just people who paid to see him.
Mm-hmm.
He let us into his mind a lot that day at that point. Um, there we went over to the Jester. Oh, we went to the kids area after that. Saw that, all the old slides that are still intact and stuff like that, and kids rides. Uh, there's some Looney Tunes rides over there still, little kids play area and a stage where they used to do performances. That was pretty cool. Um, that just looked like an abandoned playground area with some rides. That wasn't the coolest part. It was still super cool to see though. That's when you go into the park and make a right off of Main Street, and it was like the first themed area that they had off of the main strip to the right there. So that was cool. From there, we went over to the Jester where they had just demoed it, but the station was still there, and so was the train. So we all took photos in there, pictures of the trains and whatnot. We weren't allowed to film the demolition site, but the demolition over there looked pretty rough, pretty not professional and shaky and shoddy to say the least. But that's my non-professional opinion. I've done demolition before, but I haven't done demolition on things like that, so I can't really say. But it looked like absolute trash. The pictures were really fun though, really cool. I got to sit on the Jester, touch old Jester rides, the Coma trains, stand on the track a little bit and take photos. So that was really cool. Um, we walked from there, went to the old factory, the storage facility. They had employee uniforms, all that stuff. We got to ransack that shit. That was that video actually that you see left at the bottom there. That's going through one of the offices. That's where I found the Six Flags New Orleans sweatshirt that I have.
I don't know if I've seen that one. I don't know if you showed it or not.
It's on your screen right there to the left. Yeah, that one.
Hat that I found over there.
That's where all the employee uniforms were. There was some Six Flags Ohio merchandise in there as well, like hoodies and stuff, or sweatshirts, I should say. And I told you this before we got on, but I texted my buddy who did some research and why that stuff was there. And essentially, when Six Flags Ohio was rebranding to Six Flags Worlds of Adventure, they sent some of their hoodie or sweatshirts out temporarily while they were working on the rebranding and naming. Package just so happened to be going to New Orleans at the time, and then before that stuff got sent back, a hurricane hit. So that's the only reason why I was there. But it was still pretty cool seeing some Six Flags Ohio stuff that survived Hurricane Katrina, because it's like, why is it there in the first place? That was really interesting. But yeah, we found a lot of cool stuff in there. Old Six Flags, like basically anything: hats, employee uniforms, maintenance uniforms, men's and women's pants and shirts, like every and any type of clothing article you could see. The warehouse was filled with like cups and stuff for the Fright Fest and whatnot. Like you could see all of the unused Fright Fest cups that were still in there, and that was really cool.
I know they
Mr. Six. They had some cool topper heads, like it's playtime Mr. Six topper heads that were supposed to go on your Fright Fest cups that twisted on. They were really cool. They went all out for that thing. It looked like it was going to be a cool event. We saw some old signs that were for the event, like the Monster Mash Bash and all this other stuff. There was some cool stuff in there.
The one time I got copywritten because of the Halloween episode. So it made me think of Monster Mash, and I was playing it, and I was like, oh wow, I actually got a strike for that. Cool. Well, not a strike, but you know what I mean. I was like,
a warning, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, okay, you know, whatever. I'm not monetized or anything. This isn't fucking.
But from there, we went to Megazef. That's when we started climbing Megazef. Up the hill, did all that climbing, went to lunch, came back, went over other parts of the park like the Sky Coaster and the carousel and whatnot. Got to play with the old panel for Sky Coaster and hit the start and stop buttons and stuff that were still there, and stand on the old platform that used to raise you up from. Zydeco's Scream, we went over there and saw some of the demolition going on and stuff. We weren't allowed to film over there, but we were on like Zydeco's Scream as long as we weren't filming in the direction of the demo. We climbed up that where he's done some photo shoots with models and stuff up on the ride. We got to go up there. It was really cool, like 70 feet above the park and staring around at all this desolate nothingness. It was pretty sweet. Take some cool pictures, and like the whole time he was taking really cool pictures of us. We walked around a lot more, the Pontchartrain Beach area of the park. We went to the bumper cars where, like, if you've seen Closed for Storm, a lot of the interviews took place in there that people from the park were at there and stuff. There was one that was tipped over in there. One of the bumper cars tipped over, and we all had like a spontaneous photo shoot in the bumper cars. And I laid out in the bumper car like I was, splattered all across the floor and stuff. It was really cool. Like, we took some really cool pictures in there, and Jason's editing them up and sending them to us. So I'm excited for those because those will be fun to share.
Man.
And
shoutouts to Biff, by the way, for the sub chat. Hope they've been doing well. He caught me off guard though when I just saw the mustache.
Oh no shit! I see Biff just joined.
Speaking of which, this is the most like out there.
Okay.
Let's say. Do I have to do it for him to bring him on? Like I'm very tired and high, but I might have to do it for him to bring it on. But we got Biff.
Like 6 seconds.
No. We got Biff, the one best showman out there in the coastal community. Showing himself today on the high rollers.
My guy.
What you been, bro? What's been up?
I just wanted to say hi real quick. I'm at work, so I just wanted to say hi, flash the peace sign. I hope you had a safe trip, and I hope you guys have a good show.
Hey.
Oh, heck yeah, man.
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah,
Miss you, man.
I was going to say, yeah, we shot you out last time. Y'all always on the mind, so just hope you're doing okay. It's great to hear from you. We got to catch up here on the Bull.
So
Peace out.
Peace out, Bev. Have a good night. Be safe, too, man. Yeah, I text him soon. I'm going to talk to him. I texted him like a week or two ago, I think. Maybe 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I need to. Yeah, it was 10 days ago. That's my
guy. Anyways, we were talking about Six Flags. Sorry.
Yeah, we got the Zydeco Scream, and after the bumper cars, that was kind of the end of our night. Fun part. This is where like everybody kind of became friends and opened up and whatnot. I had somebody come stay at my hotel room with me from the park instead of driving back 2 hours to where he was staying at his friend's house. He came and stayed at the park because he wanted to show up Sunday morning for the early 5 a.m. shoot, but wasn't looking forward to driving hours to do it, so he wasn't going to. And I didn't really care. So I was like, yeah, I'm in New Orleans. I don't have friends. I'm in unfamiliar territory. I mean, we've had a fun day. Let's do it. So he came and stayed in my hotel.
Stranger danger, Scoob.
And you're still here and alive, so.
And you want to know what's crazy is when he was asleep, bro, I woke up I went to the bathroom real quick and I turned the light on and I noticed he had a knife on his nightstand and I was like, "Ooh, buddy, that would have been a mistake for you, pal." I was like, "The blammer was right there, buddy. Would have got pop, 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 pop."
Look, I'm just happy there was no danger with the stranger. Okay.
By blammer, I meant my fist. By the way, I can't fly with a fucking but
the 10 knuckle sandwich.
In the parking lot after I whooped his ass. Shout out to him though. He was really cool and he didn't stab me or threaten me or nothing, so there was no need for that. Stranger danger for sure though, Taylor. It was alarming when I woke up and saw that knife. I was like, wait a minute.
What a random time to be like, you know what? I want to start my serial killer arc.
Kind of perfect. That's how a lot of horror movies start.
Yeah, but it was all fun. It was all good. He was a cool dude, and he drove from Florida, so that's obviously why he had a weapon and I didn't. But
yeah.
All good. It was all good. It was a good night. We just chilled. We found some of the good kush while we were in New Orleans. Smoked all night and talked about the day and how amazing it was and shit. So yeah.
Bro, so you were just able to find someone down there? Just you got me.
I made friends with a lot of them down there. This kid Craig, that's from the UK. We've exchanged numbers. This motherfucker's calling me a cunt every day now. He's awesome. In an endearing way. I love you, obviously. You cunt. Like that. It's just amazing. He's an awesome dude. And freaking, there was, one guy was a little different, emotionally. He doesn't have social media because he's been bullied and stuff and whatnot. But he was really nice, really cool kid. I love Colin, super nice kid, and glad I met him. And Trudy, man, Friday night, Trudy was awesome. She's the best. She's from Canada. That woman is awesome.
It's so cool that there's people from other countries that are so interested in this part too.
Mm-hmm. So I was actually.
She knows Jason has worked with him a lot too, and is kind of fascinated with it. So she came to learn from him and see it. But yeah, she was more interested in learning from him than the park per se.
Oh, that's so cool. That sounded disgusted. Yeah. I was like, ew, that bitch. What the fuck?
She's my favorite. I took Christmas pictures with Trudy.
I saw that when the live ended. I saw you guys take in a duo pic, and I was like, yep. Who is this lady? It looked like y'all have been friends forever.
Literally, those Christmas pictures are gonna be so fucking cute. I can't wait for them. I'm so excited for those, low key. She is the best. She was so nice. Before the live stream started, me and her sat there for 45 minutes, 50 minutes, just talking about life, about our significant others, why we're there, why Jason kind of has these workshops and why we were attracted to him, all these different things, and we just became friends. She's like my grandma and mom mix. She's just amazing. She's super.
Grandmama.
I would go have lunch with her, and that had nothing to do with the parks if she asked me to. I would drive out to Canada. She's only 5 hours away. If I'm near Canada's Wonderland, I'm for sure messaging her on Instagram asking if she wants to go have lunch.
Well, I can't wait to see her at your wedding.
I will invite her, honestly. I'll be like, hey, Trudy, you want to come to my wedding? You don't have to shoot her, nothing, just come. I liked you. You were awesome.
That's also, I was actually going to say that's awesome because,
yeah,
this is a very intimate, experience for everyone. So to do it with everyone, Jason bringing these people together.
Don't lose contact with me. Make sure we share all of our contact info. Make sure you guys continue to talk to each other. If the opportunity arises, meet up with each other and do stuff together. Ghost Town in the Sky? Have you ever heard of that, Wes?
What is that?
It's an abandoned theme park in Asheville, Carolina.
Bro, that sounds really familiar. But
yeah, so it's a thing in Maggieville, something or whatever in that area, and Jason and Teeman and me have a plan to like meet up there because it's a central location for me and Teeman. It's 9 hours each for us, and Jason wants to go there to film it. We're all gonna do it together.
Huh. Wow. Isn't that West, like, it was almost like they were, it was a Western theme park, but, like, they literally had actors and shit walking around and stuff?
Yep. And you had to take a chairlift to it because it was in the mountain.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, wow.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, it's literally Ghost Town in the sky. It was at the top of the mountain.
Dude, that's pretty immersive. It's like
stuff, and like you would go up.
It's like Westworld before Westworld. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that was really cool.
Every time you say Ghost Town in the Sky, I think of Castle in the Sky, the Studio Ghibli movie. And I get like kind of confused for a minute.
Great movie, great shout out, great reference. Just top tier right there.
Yeah, there could probably be a whole Ghibli cast talking about Studio Ghibli. the amazing stuff they put out. The animation. When is Homie gonna retire though? I don't think he will ever retire.
He said he's gonna retire like 5 different times. We're gonna work after he dies. Let's be real.
Yeah, probably.
I need him to have a whole park.
Bro, I mean, isn't there a Studio Ghibli park opening somewhere? Like in Japan, I thought maybe. Like...
They have a museum where like your tickets are like little slices of film. And I really want to go there, but I don't think they have like an amusement park.
Ghibli Park. Advanced reservations are required, but website is for Ghibli Park in Aichi, not for the Ghibli Museum. So yeah, they're specifying that. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. They have a map, so it shops Ghibli in the park, and it seems like kind of an Epcot kind of park. I'm not even sure there's really much rides here actually. What's here? What is here? Now I'm interested. I'm just like, what the heck is here? What is Ghibli Park? Ghibli's Grand Warehouse? Oh. Central Stairs. Oh, so it's like an indoor section that you are walking in through. Children's Town.
The Cat Bureau.
Yeah, actually, I could just show this. Oh, yeah, you guys are seeing it. You guys are seeing my screen, correct?
Oh, no, I looked it up on my own, so I was like, what is this?
Yeah, I was like, what is this? But yeah, milk stands, they have, like, all this. This looks pretty amazing.
So it looks like they just, like, brought scenes of the movies to life, and you can walk through them?
Right.
That's, you know what? I like it. I want to go here. I mean, I already wanted to go to, like, the museum, but I didn't know that the park existed, and... Yeah, build a giga and I'm in. You don't have to build a giga. That's just purely for the memes.
No, build a 7,000-foot wooden coaster that rivals, the Mean Streak that was supposed to be Mean Streak. And, yeah, I'm there. So you can go to Ghibli's Grand Warehouse and then go to the Hell of Youth. Wow. Wait. So how many lands are there? Like, are there even lands? You can go to Dondoka Forest. And honestly, this park just seems like a vibe. Because you're just kind of walking around and just taking in all the Ghibli. Now, I gotta look at the... Oh, yeah, that looks incredible. I was like, there has to be some stuff here. Oh, this has like a slope car that connects to the ground level. That's sick. Okay, we gotta go back to Six Flags because we went across Pacific. Yeah, we went across Pacific to talk about something. What happened on Sunday for y'all, Scoob? When you woke up and you were kind of
shooting flight back. Really, it was kind of more somber and slow, and me realizing I was leaving.
Yeah, it's always cool. The worst on the day, like the day of, or you're going back. Like, damn.
Yeah, I mean, Saturday I didn't really take it in as much as I should have, as slowly, because like Sunday went by real quick, and then all of a sudden I was driving past them, honking by and watching them wave, and then that was it. You know, happens pretty quick.
Man,
It does suck. You know, it's not fabulous. It's a shitty feeling when you leave people you just met and made friends with. You know.
so what would you say you would do again if you could go back? Six Flags New Orleans.
I could just go back to New Orleans in general. I'd spend a little more time in the cities and the cemeteries and stuff, but the park itself, I'd probably spend more time like Friday night making scenes and bringing shit to life in there, because that felt crazy. I probably would have spent more time in other areas doing that exact same thing, shooting it as if the park still existed.
Mm, that's interesting.
I would have spent a lot more time doing stuff like that, lighting up other areas of the park and making it look like it was still usable and having people interacting, messing around on things in there, so like you could see what it was like at one point. I would love to wholeheartedly shoot something that blended between old footage and new footage from the same angles. Like I would like to take all of the old footage other people have and go in and try to get the exact same angles from today, but bring those to life, like the scenes around it to life as it is.
That's a very
Almost a shot
interesting
vlog,
project.
but like blend it between past and present.
I
That
wish
would
I
be a
could do
project
something like that
work out for that.
with like.
Yeah, that would be wholeheartedly what I would do if I could spend a week, 2, 3 weeks in there and do the shots I wanted all day. Yeah.
I wish I could do that with like Freestyle Music Park, because I saw that B&M Led Zeppelin the ride so many times, because me and my friend would go to like Myrtle for our summer, like a weekend during the summer, and you would just see it sitting there, and I'm gonna be like, man, I wonder what that would be like. I'm like, that looks very similar to like Dominator or something in my own park. It's where I was like an enthusiast, but I'm like,
Right.
now it's, I think, pretty sure Led Zeppelin is completely gone. I think that's I'm pretty sure it's somewhere else now. I forgot exactly where, but
Yeah, it's
relocated
at
at least.
over time.
No, looking at that part, I don't even know if Freestyle Music Park even still exists. You know, it was over. It was really close to water and stuff, but like, I, I don't know. If that big, you saw that going over the bridge of the water like easily, like that B&M. So I was like, ooh, I kind of enthralled you. So
Another thing I gotta say about New Orleans is the park was laid out fantastically. Like it made so much sense walking through that park. It was a beautiful layout and footprint.
it's really good.
Like it's weird how well that park made sense.
Man, only thing that wouldn't make sense, I guess, is like all the overgrowth and everything. But like when you're in there, that's why I make complain about parks now. When my nitpicks, it'll be like the layout is the only thing I'm complaining about here. I'm having a hard time finding a way around.
Around that pond with some off spans, it was perfect, man.
Yeah,
The
the
layout made
donut.
so much sense.
Yeah, the donut is generally the best with like alcoves and or ways to cut on through.
Yep.
But generally, that is the
That
best
part,
layout.
perfect. Again, like it just was so eerie being in there. It felt so lifeless, man. That's why I would really spend as much time bringing it to life as I could with film.
That's well, all we can do is support Jazzland Park, the project. Sure,
Yep,
get
and
the
Jason Lane here, and hope that they put together some cool stuff.
jazzlandpark.com. God, the sleepies are hitting me. That's what happens when you truly fix your sleep schedule.
Right.
These 1 a.m. casts just it's a bit harder for me to hold on, but I'm holding on. But no, make sure to hit that contact. I definitely will probably I'll probably be throwing them quite a bit because, like, look, you never know, y'all. Especially with like parks showing up, like all these places overseas. Wouldn't it be great to actually have some people that might have some sort of foundation in the industry, give them another shot to make something great, another great theme park, regional amusement park, and give back to the community. Because yeah, like we were talking about earlier, this tourism is basically the only thing that's holding New Orleans up right now, and that would really help out, and it would give a reason for them to invest a lot, not just give up.
Yeah.
So that's why I save Jazzland.
Save Jazzland.
Like, save it. We need to save it. Because I do want to go down there in general, because I need to just experience New Orleans at some point in my life. But having coasters, as a appetizer for that would be great. That'd be freaking great.
I feel like that's a good way to get more families to come in too. Like,
Yep.
You got a little park, you got a cool city, but like, who wants to take their like 3-year-old who's going to be bored because they don't understand touring?
They're tired. It's hot. It's probably humid because you're in New Orleans. They're gonna need a nap.
But if you can like swing on over and add in a day at Six Flags, or Jazzland or whatever, and throw them on like a little, like, I don't know what a classic kids ride is, or like
say a bumper
water
car or
park. You got a good reason to bring your family down there.
Yep.
I agree, and like I really don't see how they can overlook this too much right now. It could just be the matter of the fact of there's other things that are on the table for them, whether it's good or bad, that are they're worried about. But like Scoob said, if there's like they sign on and they're like, we're tired of getting like 10, 15 emails talking about Jazzland, like they're gonna have to say something. Like they're gonna have to address it to some extent.
When it's interrupting your work business flow, yeah. I think at that point you have to address it.
So
And it can't just be Scoob all the time, or they're just gonna block him.
I'm about to say they're gonna think it's a bot or something. That's like, it has to be a valiant effort. We have to all do this together. No, but seriously, like at least once a week. Why not once a day? You could just have a copy and pasted email. Truly.
But like change your beginning sentence every time, so they don't think you're a bot.
Greetings. Salutations. Aloha.
Top of the morning.
Yep, and then add in it if you really want to, sell the fact that you're not from. Anyways. Apparently there's like actually a good bit amount of over the seas, like over the pond, what they like to be called, over the pond listeners of this cast. I was like, how did you even find this? But I'm so appreciative of everyone. And hopefully if you didn't know about Six Flags New Orleans, that's what this is all for. Like, I've always been, to me, it has been like almost like the Titanic of the music industry. This catastrophic, unfortunate situation, and then everything leading up led to its horrible demise, what we have right now. Just these unfortunate series of events. So, the history of it is very sad, especially when Scoob was talking about, earlier, was just the storm surge and seeing what it was and putting it in perspective. Right. I honestly didn't think of that until you said it. Like, just the rush just sitting there, damn. Because they said it was 10 to 28 feet high storm surges going around there. Can you fucking imagine, bro? That's what I'm saying. There's like weight around this. It's not just, you know, oh my god, there were Mega Zeph was there. We could have had. That's cool and all right. Like that is part of the, you know. There were thousands of lives lost, you know. So 1,000 just over, but 1,426 from I remember correctly. So
I wholeheartedly agree.
We can bring some light to that and literally rebuild and have that almost like a new turn. Jesus. Speaking's hard now. New turned chapter to this whole area. The whole, you know, like you said, how it felt lifeless, bringing life to that.
Yep.
So
completely.
Those are my final words.
Like,
Cause
nothing inside of it except for that. Like, you feel nothing in there. Weird.
That sucks.
That's crazy. I see some pictures he posted, and it's from the day that we were all hanging out last. Yeah, that's nuts.
Now, as scary as it would have been to see a gator or a boar or something, I also think it would have been made for like really cool pictures if you just saw one like doing its thing right next to Mega Zeph.
Right.
Or whatever. Like to really take in that like this has been overtaken by nature. This is a lost park.
Right.
Vibe.
Wholeheartedly agree with that. It would be so crazy.
Because like you can say it's like gator infested and all that, but until you see it,
yeah,
that when shit gets real. Like you're like, uh-oh.
Until you see them bubbles, you're like, that's not Aquaman.
That's not Aquaman.
Yeah, at some point
if anything, I hope. That's Killer Croc, bro.
Bro, I got out of there. I was gone. I was like, nope, not happening. Not on my watch.
Yeah, any final words for you, Scoob, on all this, you know?
Yeah, it was surreal, man. It was crazy. And shout out to Gavin and girlfriend and everyone for making it happen. And hopefully we can do something cool with it in the future.
Dude,
it'd be really nice to make a documentary, you know?
I think you should. What's stopping you, huh?
I already have it ready to roll. I got 32 pages written out. I just need permission to do it.
Just talk to Jason. He got you.
I'm gonna talk to him and see what's up, but IU Phoenix is who I think I'm gonna need to get written permission from, so.
And I don't think he's gonna let you make the documentary you want to make.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, so.
You already know he dealing with Bablo, dealing with this. Just remember to check out Ghost of Coasters in general. Ghost of Coasters on YouTube.
Appreciate that, big dog. I got 48 minutes of that Bablo documentary complete already. I didn't tell you that, but
look,
the rough draft is on my my YouTube already.
Wait.
Not for people to watch, but
I was like, wait. There's no way I would have missed that. There's no way that would have been missed. Unless I've been just like...
It's private in there.
I see. The rough draft. The raw cunt. The raw papers.
Yup. You feel me?
Well, Taylor, yeah. What are your... thoughts on Six Flags New Orleans, everything with it? Like, I'm pretty sure you gave a lot of thoughts, but like, I guess final closing out here, as we're getting to the sleepy time.
We're
getting to the Donald's dreamland, as some people may like to call it. I have on my nightgown and cap.
Ooh, we're throwing that like 'twas the night before Christmas.
I have the candle holder in between the thumb. But I'm not Scrooge, I'm feeling pretty good about Christmas this time. The holidays, I'm feeling pretty good. Pretty good.
Maybe they should have had a FOF, because live, laugh, FOF. And no, really unfortunate situation with that park. And like you guys were saying, you just gotta make sure we're like really loud with our support for that park.
Mm-hmm.
And share all of the things and harass the local government.
Like, literally. Like,
send them letters.
Send them mail. Send them email.
You know how serious it is if you get like a physical piece of mail these days?
Yeah, someone took the time.
Yep.
And if it's a lot, they're like, oh my god, I gotta go through all this. And that's a lot of time they don't want to do.
Call them, find their representative like numbers, leave them some voicemails.
Facts. Big time. You start interrupting their workday with overflowing messages of support for Jazzland and things like that, you can make a difference. Whether you believe it or not, every single one of you who doesn't believe it, if you make that phone call, it makes a difference.
And make sure you're following Jazzland Park in the daily Jazzland photos. They've shared a lot of really good information about what's going on that Scoob may or may not have covered before I joined.
Oh, you're right. Yep, you're 100% right. That's what needs to happen.
I guess I should specify on Twitter, just in case.
Twitter. Yes, make sure
whatever.
No, we're just calling it Twitter here.
That sounds so much worse. Like, sounds like you're doing something you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
I mean, we probably shouldn't be at this point.
Actually, Scoob, I have a Facebook post to send you after this.
Oh yeah.
But no, as y'all were closing it out here, seriously, go check out that go check out the site, jazzlandpark.com, because I'm gonna be giving it to all the cool guests that came on today. Scoob, thank you for coming on, and Taylor, thank you for just popping on in.
Thanks for having me, dude.
Yeah, thank you for letting me just crash.
You are.
Of course. But to follow them, you can go ahead and follow. I'm trying to think of it. Okay, it's S&T. I was like, do enough alphabetical order. Scoob at Scooby Coasters on the Twitterverse, and Ghoster Coasters on Instagram, and also don't forget the YouTube, the main thing that he's grinding. That's all the ideas. The Top Thrill Drive Dog Brewery. You could probably check that out. One of the biggest things he put out. Otherwise, all the Boblo stuff that he be keeping up to date with. You actually got a Top Thrill update you got to do. Speaking of which,
I just did that actually. I gotta finish editing. Yeah, it's hard.
And also make sure to follow Flight of Fear's biggest fan, Flight of Taylor. I want to make sure. Is there an underscore in it? Because I feel like there's.
Nope, it's just straight, all one word, Flight of Taylor on all of the socials.
See, you have it easy. You're able to do Flight of Taylor.
Yeah, I had to make sure it all was the same, because that would be really annoying.
Yeah, go ahead and make sure to follow for all that. All the takes on the Flight of Fears. And also on whatever, people are doing for the 25 days. As you're saying, you're just doing what you rode this year, which honestly, I like that. I might steal that for next year. I'm not going to lie.
It's not too late to hop in this year.
Oh, no. We're doing it for hours. We're just doing it in a very obviously clickbaity way, just make people like teasing, like, hey guys, we're doing our honorable mentions, and then we're gonna show you guys half our top 25. Like, we're just like being like troll, like.
Okay, I see.
Because we're leading up to the Stonies, which we end up inevitably here. It's like, hey, our award show that really no one cares about, because it's just like we're mostly just talking about good stuff that happened at the end of the year. It's one of my favorite times to do it though, but
heck yeah,
y'all should come on for that. We'll have a big Stony spectacular. You don't have to get high for it. This is what it's called. But y'all, make sure to follow at Flight of Taylor on all platforms in case you missed it. And then for me, you can follow me at West Tower Coasters on Instagram or West Tower C on Twitter. And then the main channel, the podcast, keep up to date with us. Follow us on YouTube. You know, you can catch us on any platform for streaming. And also, if you want a video format, we don't have our faces there, right? You know, but if you want to easily put us there, if that's where you're from, go ahead and do that. And also follow the cast on socials at the High Rollers DMV on Instagram and at the High Rollers C on Twitter. Y'all, it's been an awesome bonus. Scoob, you were at Six Flags New Orleans, man. Holy shit.
Literally, like, it's unbelievable.
I'm so happy you committed to it. Congratulations, bro. I can't wait to see what's coming next. And Taylor, thank you for hopping on. You need to hop on again. This is fun.
Oh, yeah. Let me know anytime. I'd love to. Thank you again for letting me just crash on in here.
Yeah, you guys heard the big boom from outside? Like, she broke into my house with a car. She ran into my house. Yeah. I had to let her in.
Like,
so
I made that 8-hour drive in like 10 minutes, you know?
And she was not braking.
No, just straight through the front door. Let your couch, you know, stop my car.
So now at this point, she has to come back on. It's part of the agreement, you know. Y'all,
it's the only way he's not pressing charges.
I was about to say, y'all make sure to not commit crimes to your friends, and stay safe out there. If this is the only episode you listen to before the holiday season, have a good holidays. And you never know who you meet in the still little hobby. Take care. Peace out, y'all.